Announcements and other business?
There's a senior safety day going on right now as we speak at the fairgrounds.
So get on down.
If you're a senior and you want to brush up on your driving skills, I think that's part of it, as well as other things.
Our next meeting will be June 4th, 2015, here at City Hall. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
And all in favor? Unanimous? That concludes our meeting today. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Disposition of minutes. Is there any changes, additions, questions about minutes from the previous meeting?
One change, if I may. On page 7, in the second sentence under John Edwards, Charlene should say Paul Logue said the requirement is 1 foot above the base flood elevation.
Elevation, yeah.
Not 1 foot above the floodplain.
I would also wonder, I'm looking at page 7 and then page 9. So is there a page 8 that's missing here? Yeah, it must be missing because it starts with the title, West Street Fire Rebuild Update, then it says the other property owners. Okay.
Char, where's 1508? Did I miss it totally?
1508.
Case number 15?
It must have copied strange. Something must have happened.
Okay. Why don't we, I would move that we hold off, table the acceptance of the minutes till we get the missing pages and pieces.
It must have
Okay.
copied every other.
That's a motion.
Okay, is that seconded?
Second.
And all in favor? Aye. That's unanimous.
That's one way to get it out
Minus
of
the
way.
one absentee. See, there are no cases today. Communications, the West Union Street property owners, Title 41. Mr. Paskey, do you want to introduce?
Communications, so
Okay.
let them discuss it. I can tell you, and it was kind of be my report and share it all in one, that last Tuesday evening, the Board of Zoning Appeals did approve the variance 3-2 on all 3 applications for the parking requests for the rebuild of West Union. So I think they're just here right now to pretty much rehash what they talked about a couple weeks ago and go over that with you, and they will be coming for Title 41 in the near future.
Okay. If you are speaking to that, and if we might be able to keep our observations as opposed to the last meeting a little bit more concise on things, that'd be great.
Who, you guys?
Brevity.
I have one at home, I just forgot it. You have lots of Xerox?
Okay, these are multiple of the same thing. No,
We'll
no, I see
share
different
them.
pages. Okay.
I think Emerson said that. Brevity.
And he said it twice.
What a erudite guy.
All right. Yes, go ahead and
John
introduce
Jones,
yourself.
RBC Architects, and I first of all would like to thank the Planning Commission for the letter of support that was presented to the Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm sure that it was certainly helpful in making the decision that they did. And I think, as John indicated, all 3 buildings were approved through, well, they were given their variances through the Zoning Board. And now, the whole process begins, Title 41, as well as, hopefully soon, work at the site. I can say that tomorrow there's a meeting with all the owners and us, and fortunately, I think, for everybody, and us included, we're going to be representing or designing all 3 buildings, and hopefully turning it into, if we have our way, essentially, from our standpoint, one project with one contractor. It's going to make it a lot easier in terms of logistics of working on a tight site. And I'm just speculating at this point. We won't know that for a fact until all the owners have reviewed and agreed upon the kinds of things that are going to have to be compromised between each of them. Because all 3 properties do share issues that need to be resolved between them, especially 14, which is actually one building with 2 owners. And how firewalls are going to be established and how we're going to do egress. I think these drawings, they're still at this point, up until we get through the zoning board, we really don't spend an awful lot of time figuring things out, only in a more general, broad scale. Now we have to get in there and really make sure that we've got the ability to get egress and fire separations and access for the commercial as well as the residential tenants of these three buildings. There's going to be compromises that also have to be made, and I think that some of the issues are going to be back before you again in terms of, I know for a fact 12 does not have any access to any space for bicycles or for trash. And we're probably going to have to come up with ideas and proposals which would be sort of compromising in some aspect the requirements that the city has developed for those facilities.
In theory, a Title 41, it means all the variances have to be granted. So if there's a problem with bicycle racks or other requirements.
I think he means a compromise will probably have to be amongst property owners.
Oh, I see, within your project, okay, I see. Makes sense.
I mean, yeah, we're going to have to figure out ways to make this work, but it's not just that. It's
Okay.
going to have to be between all the owners involved at some point as
So
well.
there has to be neighborly, in other words.
Yes.
All right, easy, flexible.
Nancy?
I'm glad you're doing this. When I woke up after this, I said, oh, goodness, it's going to be a challenge to do it with all of them, if they all had separate entities operating in different cement trucks, and I'm over there every so often, so I'm really glad. I mean, you could talk about, when you're arguing with them tomorrow or presenting your case, how much it would cost in terms of time if they're doing it separately and not all working with you. It's just going to, it would be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
I think they're all business-oriented people, and they're going to,
I hope
we have to
so.
keep things separate to a point, and I believe that the coordination aspect is going to be Mike Carruthers
Okay.
here from our office is going to be dealing with the emailing back and forth and coordinating it. We're already applying for a preliminary review from the state of Ohio so that we can have this project reviewed by one plan examiner rather than three, so there'll be some kind of continuity in the review process at the state of Ohio. All these things will have to work because obviously we around here work on a university clock, and the clock is ticking right now. So from the city standpoint and the construction standpoint and our standpoint, we've got to get things going as quickly as possible to meet the anticipated schedule that I think that they're going to develop for sure.
So when are they opening?
Is the union part of this whole process, or the Coladas?
No, but we'll be in touch real quickly with the pension, or not pensional, whatever they are now, the new guys. Jim Thomas is the one doing the work for the union. I talked to the Coladas people, and Jim and I know each other pretty well. As soon as we get things a little bit more established from our standpoint, we'll be communicating to make sure everything is...
Because they're already under remodeling, aren't they?
Yeah, but see, they're not redoing things, and they've already got a firewall built on their building that's going to be adjacent to 16. And Mike, you can say, we don't really have any...
That building didn't take any variances.
Didn't
So
even-
There are no residences.
They've been granted their permits and they're underway.
We have a courtyard.
Yeah, I was looking at that. That's the 14.5 and 16. It goes from first floor, second floor up to the third. Is that going to be open on top? Is that
Will that courtyard?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll remain open.
is that there already, or is that new?
No, that's new.
Okay.
And that's so that we can get the windows and the light that we need for the bedrooms.
Like dumbbell.
But my understanding is that courtyard will not interfere with the open courtyard that'll be at the Union.
I thought it was the dumbbell tenement influence.
So
I thought it was the influence of dumbbell tenements, you know, the inner space. Same thing.
Dumbbell tenements?
Well, that's what they did.
Is that what
They
they
built
call
it.
it? Oh,
It was an innovation that solved problems
okay.
100 years ago.
If you look at the plan, we're not opening anything towards the Union side
Yeah.
of that project. There's no doorways. We've talked about, I guess they're doing a deck at the rear and maybe sharing an egress. We don't anticipate that's going to happen.
When will this be done?
Hopefully when, I don't know. You can say it.
When? What's worst and best case scenario?
I think the goal is, I think it's summer of next year, construction ready for, I know we want to hopefully get state permits this fall, probably before August, and
Music. Thought I was-
construction will take a while. There's a lot to be done, but the goal is hopefully before the fall season for.
It's really an important route that is in front of the building in terms of people from, the majority of people live north of the river, and there's an awful lot of traffic that goes through there. Awful lot of frustration built up sometimes, so I appreciate sooner rather than later.
I figure as soon as we can get the sidewalk open,
That'll be good.
that's our goal, is not to drag that in too much.
So the next steps actually is dependent on your next meeting with all the property owners, if they want to go en masse and work together. Then the state level plans have to be vetted and approved, and then to us as a plan, as Title 41. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Correct.
well, we've already got proposals that we're going to give to the owners tomorrow for the Title 41 engineering process to begin. We've got 3 separate proposals from Buckley Engineering, and he's the one that's been working with us on all these jobs around town that require Title 41 utility coordination with Andy Stone. So that's going to start right away,
Okay.
as well as the demolition prior to any permits that we get from the state of Ohio, because we still have to go in and do some soil testing before we get into the design too much, so
Okay.
that we can verify our bearing conditions in there, and can't get in there at all right now.
I see.
So we're also, John has already got a proposal for demolition. Just so happens that we are also working in the on the Opera House up in Nelsonville, and we've also got other demolition contractors providing proposals for that project. And we're going to ask them to give us more proposals for this one.
Okay. I guess summer of next 2016. Okay. I guess you're going to have to batten down the hatches for Halloween.
Yeah.
Is that 10 West Union? That's that's almost like a, what do they call them, railroad apartments or something like that? They're just one straight shot like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
None of these plans are 100%
Okay.
there.
Yeah, you're preliminary. I see it right down at the bottom here.
Okay.
I'm not holding you to it.
Mary, you bring up a very interesting point. I'm glad you said we'll have to think about that. Halloween, with West Union being the way it is, and potentially BP underway by then, that could affect the stage locations considerably. So we'll have to,
Add it to the mix.
yes, add that to the mix. Great point.
Anyone else on the commission have any questions, observations? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Reports from the city planner. Mr. Loeb?
Just a couple things this afternoon. The request for qualifications for the Armory Certified Local Government Grant that we received to work on market and use study, that is posted right now. The deadline for submittals on that is June 2nd, 2015. That's a week from Tuesday, I believe. Our Sustainability Commission is continuing to work on putting together a draft sustainability plan for the city and for council. That we had a meeting last night, and we're getting pretty close to our draft. I think probably about 65% there at this point, maybe 60%. We expect to get something wrapped up here in about a month or month and a half. And we will be appointing, I believe, a new member to the Sustainability Commission We had a resignation, or actually somebody, one person graduated and another person moved. So we have 2 open seats right now, and we found one person who's interested in serving. And our Historic Preservation Commission, we had our monthly meeting on Monday, working through a few issues, the biggest one of which is that we have a few volunteers this summer that will be contributing, working with us to update a lot of our existing inventory documents of historic buildings around the city. And our Preservation Commission will also have a vacant seat coming up. We had one of our members resign, too busy with work and other things, so needed to take a step back from that position for a while.
So I'm hearing, looking for citizen volunteers on the sustainability.
Citizen volunteers, yeah, if people are interested.
Okay.
Anybody's welcome to contact me. The one appointment that, the person who expressed interest for the Environmental Sustainability Commission, I'll communicate with Charlene and get you some information there, while I believe the process is for the mayor to recommend and then council agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Elaine Getz, you said.
It's correct.
And she worked with us on our floodplain review many years ago.
She's an employee of the Ohio University Office of Sustainability, and she's been active with several things in the city in the past.
Okay. Okay, I forget the amount for the local certified government grant. What was that, 13, 14, what was it?
The total project was just under $24,000.
Okay.
The cash being contributed from Ohio History Connection was, I believe, 14 or 15,000 in-kind match of volunteer hours, plus my hours covers about half of the remainder, and then I think the city's contribution was just under 5,000 in cash.
Okay. Okay, so we're moving forward on the armory stuff.
That's all I have for this afternoon.
Mr. Paskey?
Did you give them a copy of this?
I did not.
Paul had this, and I don't know if you guys all got copies of it, the 2015 Central Ohio Planning and Zoning Workshop. I didn't know if you guys would, we can get copies of this, if any of you are interested in going. I can tell you there are a number of members from the BZA that are interested in going, and I think they want to speak to you about that. But I went a couple years ago. It's a great workshop, so I think you've been before.
Okay, why don't you send it to us electronically? What's the
How did you
what's the
get it?
deadline on that?
That's from Paula, I believe.
Oh, really?
It's Friday, June 12th. The event is Friday, June 19th.
Deadline's the 12th.
The deadline is Friday, June 12th, so that's 2 weeks from tomorrow.
So,
In Columbus, at the Crown Plaza, downtown Columbus. We'll email it to the planning commissioners if they're
again, I think we got it once, we probably lost it in the shuffle. No?
Right.
Okay. Okay. It might be worth signing up for it if you guys are interested.
And then between BP Integrated and West Union, I have nothing else. That took a lot of my time, so.
I see,
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry.
Did you make it up to the regional planning, transportation planning organization meeting yesterday? I know you're in the city.
I stopped in for about 15 minutes and had a
Okay.
good conversation with them. I discussed continued expansion of the bike path system, the long-term goal that's been identified of connecting the Hockhocking and Dena all the way to Parkersburg, as well as extending towards the Moonville Tunnel. And we discussed transit, some sort of a transit hub, that possibility.
Okay.
I have not had a chance to review their draft plan, though, but they seem to be in the right direction. And they were asking for input from Andy.
Yeah.
Andy Stone as well. So.
Yeah, they're looking for, they really want to just gather every possible configuration of transit improvements that they want to see in the future occur. Not that there's money in the pipeline for that, but it's good to know if they're doing a plan for the next 20 years. I think they said 2040 they're actually talking about in some of their future predictions. They want to look at, say, what will the needs be, they actually had a few maps with increases and decreases of road use. According to this, they did a statistical analysis there. Some of it was kind of quirky when they presented it to it. I was at their meeting last Friday, and they had some of the county engineers from other counties scratching their head saying, "I don't know why you expect an uptick in this particular road," but they also looked at crash data, both within the city and outside the city. And again, it's really, again, the regional transportation planning is to get one voice within the 8 counties zone, which we are part of. So I'm glad that you made it there, and I think we can still feed them a wish list of things we'd like to see. I brought up transportation hub for the bus systems as one aspect, but you know, there's other things that need to be done. And again, they're looking at roads, rail. They don't get a lot of buy-in from the rail because rail's a private entity and doesn't really want to talk about it that much. The river, airports, etc., as well as a bike path. I think they showed you the map that the state's been putting out about this bike path.
Yeah, I grabbed a copy of it to
it's,
look at.
they say there's inaccuracies in it, but that's the starting point. They had a little flyer there, which, interesting enough, does not have a telephone number or a website on it. So, so I don't know how they're going to expect input from the state level, at least. Okay, well, thanks for going there. I saw the county planner there as well, attending, as well as some citizens showed up, so that was a good, instructive time.
The opportunity for citizens to speak about items not covered on the agenda. Okay. Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, May 21st, 2015 meeting of the Athens City Planning Commission. A quorum has been established with one member unavailable today. Administering the oath, is there anyone who intends to speak before the commission? Just raise your hands, and you solemnly swear to tell the planning commission the truth as you know it. Terrific, thank you.